MLB draft, the New York Mets select Jet Williams, a shortstop from Rockwell Heath High School in Heath, Texas. The San Diego Padres have the next pick.
I love this kid, Jet Williams. He's 5'8", 175 pounds, considered one of the best hitters on last summer's showcase circuit. Fouled it up with an excellent 2022 year. As you see, a little video glitch, but they're still partying. He might be the shortest of all the top prospects in this draft class. Dan O'Dowd, what do you think of Jet Williams?
Actually, one of my favorite players in this year's draft, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, this kid's got electric hand speed, simple as that. He impacts the baseball. He's got a good feel for the strike zone, and he's got a smaller strike zone. This kid hits really good fastballs consistently. He's a plus runner. I believe he can stay at shortstop. I have no doubt he could actually run out and play center field. I mean, we throw comps on all the time, and sometimes it's dangerous for the kids. But this guy's Altuve, but he can play shortstop.
So that's what I said. Tell Altuve about the size. Look, if you're going to be named Jet, you better be able to run. I mean, that's just plain and simple.
He can do a lot of things. And to me, position, height, whatever, the best player is the guy that plays the best. And I don't know that he can do that every day from here on out, but he dang sure did it at the area codes games last year where all the best players get together out here in California. And he was incredible. And you speak of pedigree, he comes from a family that's wrapped up in baseball. His brother RJ's a guy I recruited. His brothers and his parents helped put him in a good position, just like a lot of these other families, and he just keeps getting better and better.
Jet Williams going number 14 to the Mets. Jim Callis, I haven't stared at your mock in a while. Did you have Jet Williams coming off the board this soon?
I had Jet Williams at number 14 to the Mets, Greg. So
wow.
Pay a little better attention. You know, it's funny. Everybody's telling me how much they love Jet Williams, and I concur. He's one of my favorite players in the draft. Great hitter, can really run. There's sneaky pop. Smallest guy in the draft, top 250. But he's the leader. If we tracked number of times different scouts said, I love that guy. I think Jet Williams is an 80. I love that guy in this year's draft because he's just a favorite of everybody with how good he is. Like Tony was talking about, how hard he plays the game right.
All right, there you go. Chris Pena, Rockwall County Game Day, jumping on for a little Jet Williams special. We're going to release some rankings right now, and I have them blocked off for a reason. I wanted to talk about the award for a couple of minutes and just explain some things before I release them. If I put them on there, nobody will watch this, so I wanted to make sure that I got them. If you have any problems hearing, please let me know. It looks like I have sound, but I am watching the Facebook feed, so if there are any problems with sound, please let me know, and I'll get that corrected. You can comment on the live stream that I have going now. All right, so let's talk about some awards and these rankings and these green arrows and red arrows and what it all means and things like that. First off, I wanted to, again, thank my sponsors. The Jet Williams Award, which is given to the Rockwall County Game Day Player of the Year, is presented by Hudson Financial Group and 7AR. I can't thank Mr. Randy Hudson and Aldre and Robinson Chirinos over at 7AR for all their support that they've given us over the years and their friendship. We're truly blessed to have them on board with this. The awards. So earlier today, I was Jet's dad, Richard, and Jet. The three of us, we were texting back and forth for about 15, 20 minutes, just talking about the rankings, just looking at stats, just bouncing things off the wall and, asking questions about where people sit in the rankings and who is where and what it all means. First off, I just want to say this. These rankings are not meant to say that, one player is just better than the other, or we're not knocking a young man for having a bad week, or we're not doing any of that. This is just really just for because as a sports fan, I have fun with rankings. I think they're always fascinating. They generate great conversation and debate, and so the important thing to remember is that we're highlighting kids, and that's what's most important to Jet. That's what is most important to Jet's parents, and also our sponsors, and obviously me, because that's really what this is all about. So we want to just highlight kids and schools and things like that. So that's what this is about, and hopefully we can all just look at the big picture here and realize that that's what's going on, and not get too caught up into so-and-so should be way higher or so-and-so should be on the list, because we might be thinking of this as a entire year. So you might look at a player and say, wow, I remember back in late January, February, and the run, and then now, they're continuing to play well. But remember, this we look at district stats only for these rankings, and so the only thing that we take into consideration are the district stats. If we have some stuff that's really close, then we go back and we can look at the entire year and just kind of see where players are at, and that does become important, because if you have a player that is just having a ridiculous year stat-wise, and you want to look at, okay, well, what's the competition that player is facing, and does it make sense? Is it fair that he may not be playing against really tough competition, and yet he's ranked so high? And so that's when I can open up the stats, because all the coaches, all the schools have given us complete access to what's going on, which we don't give back to you guys, because that's the coaches' wishes. They just don't. They're competing right now, and they'd rather not have everyone viewing all their stats and what the players are doing and things like that. But we can go back and look at, okay, if there's an argument of, well, this player, they don't play any really good competition, well, I can open it up and look at the entire year and say, well, that player's not far off from what they were doing in the preseason in tournaments and other things where maybe there were a lot of really good teams. So I think the schools that are involved with this, I think that the competition, really, when you look at Royce City, not Royce City, when you look at Rowlett, and when you look at Dallas Christian, those are really kind of the two schools that are outliers, because they don't play in the district that makes up a majority of the schools that are involved in this. So just know that we're paying attention, and we're looking at all the details. We're looking at all the different things to try to make sure that we get a top 10 that we're proud of, and that reflect the stats that are out there that we have access to. You may have access. Somebody may have access to their son's stats, and maybe not the entire team. But even if they do, they don't have access to another team's stats. So, and we do. We can compare them all across the board. So I just want to get that out there and let everyone know what this means, and know that the green and red arrows that you see on here, all they reflect is a change in the stats, and then we look at it and we say, okay, does it make sense to do that? And I also want to make this point as well. The final rankings that will be released the first week of May, we won't have 12 on there. We'll have 10, and those 10 will be the 10 players that we look at and vote on for the 3 finalists. And don't be surprised. And this is probably an argument of why I shouldn't rank them, because then it brings up more questions and things like that. But certainly a player at number 10 or number 9 or number 8 could find themselves in the final 3 because we pretty much take away everything. We're looking at now character. We're looking at we're going to ask coaches about these players. We're going to watch how they interact with their teammates and all sorts of different factors, including academics, anything that we can find on the 10 players. And then we'll vote. I say we, I try to stay out of the vote, but there will be a vote, and the top 3 will be picked. And so don't be surprised. Just because you're 1, 2, 3 this entire way, and then when it comes down to the voters, if they pick 3 out of the 10 that weren't in that order, 1, 2, 3, you see somebody who was at 7, whatever, you're like, oh my, this kid was batting 900. Why didn't he get picked? Well, I don't know. Maybe there was an incident. Maybe something happened to where we just didn't feel like it represented what Jet represented. And I always talk highly of Jet, and everyone does, just in how he carried himself on the field, the teammate he was, who he is in the dugout, who he is outside, how he interacts with the community, with the kids. All those things made Jet who he is, and you just throw on top of it that he is one of the best baseball players in the world, and that's why all this came to be. As you can see, the Jet Williams Award trophy in the background. I've got a nameplate coming for Mr. Ben Shepard, who was last year's winner from Forney, and then my bat that Jet gave me and signed, things like that. So without further ado, the Jet Williams Award presented by Hudson Financial Group and 7AR. Let me go ahead and show this. There you go. Some notes on here. This is the week of April 14th rankings. So Jake's a sophomore. So we have 2 sophomores on this list. We have 6 juniors, 4 seniors. And really, again, this comes down to us looking at the stats and then diving deep into some stats that we think are really like, wow, those are amazing numbers. And then we open it up and we're like, well, is this just something that's happening in district, or is this just who this player is? And Jake certainly is having an outstanding year. And so when we looked at the stats and everything else, it was like, all right, well, this is the guy at the moment. And as you can see, it's week to week, right? You never know. Rockwall coming in, Charles. Nothing that he didn't do last week. It's just that Jake's numbers are popping off. River, man, that he's getting it done at the plate, and he's getting it done on the mound. He's got he's just been stellar for Rowlett, and he's just a great kid and great character, and his stats are obviously way up there. Also interesting to know before I go further down the list, as you can see it, but there are 4 pitchers on here. Hudson Holt, he moves up 2 spots. He's just been an amazing arm for Rockwall, and with his ERA and everything, he had a big win on the road versus Legacy. 7 innings he went, and I think he gave up just 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. And so Hudson Holt, who was on this list last week, moves up from 6 to 4. Mr. Jeffrey Claycomb from Rowlett, the catcher that's committed to Ohio State, continues just to have incredible numbers, including he does everything. He's behind the plate. He's a captain. He's also got 20 stolen bases in district play, which is phenomenal, but along with a ton of RBIs and things like that. So he stays put there. And then Ian Rister from Heath, he moves up a spot. Brady Lattisow was really just he drops a few spots just because of the performance that Hudson had last week. And then Ian just continues to be a force on the mound. And then Mr. Claycomb, just staying put to where he's at. Nothing against Brady. He is a junior that's a leader and on that team, and somebody that Coach Harvey and the Hawks are leaning on. And he's been hot. He's been incredible to watch. Just some other players with their numbers were deserving to go in there. Brent from Rockwall moves up a spot over Alex Cooley. Just minor little details there. Maybe had a better game or so, and that's really why they kind of flip flopped. Wanted to note number 10 here, Tyler Holmes, who was not on the list last week, and that's how close this is at the moment. There are 3-4 other players that are number 13, 14, 15, 16. I've done it all the way to 20. That with a performance, with something that happens, this week, Tuesday, Thursday, you could very well see them jump into on this list and maybe in the top 10. But Tyler's numbers, when you look at his ERA and his strikeouts, and then the leader he is, and I can't express how good of a kid and character. Everything I've seen, and I've seen him a few times, him and his brother. But Mr. Tyler Holmes is made a move, and a big move, to get himself on this list at 10. Braden at Roy City and Stone Bailey at Dallas Christian. Certainly both players that are right there that can put themselves inside the top 10 in a given minute, and this is literally coming day to day, week to week, as we have 2 weeks left in the season. So we'll have rankings on Monday of next week, and then another set of rankings the following week after that. So. I just want to come on air for 15, 20 minutes, and I've almost used up that time to give the rankings and to kind of explain them. And hopefully, if you're just seeing this list, or if you're just jumping on and you're trying to, understand, well, why did so-and-so drop? Why did so-and-so go up? Hopefully, you can go back and watch the first 5 or 10 minutes of this and get the explanation that you want. It's nothing against these kids. We're talking about some talented, extremely good baseball players. There's a lot of really good character kids on here, a lot of kids that are important to their teams and the community. And again, we're looking at district stats, and this is how the stats rank up. It's not a knock on anyone. But that's the way it fell this week. I'd be interested to see what happens next week as we. I'll be at some games this week, and so we'll take a look at those rankings or those stats again Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and I'll start doing a list for Monday. So we appreciate all the support out there. This is not easy. We certainly don't want to insult anybody or hurt anyone's feelings. Please don't throw anything at me at the games if you see me, and or give me an ugly look, because my goal is just to highlight the kids. That's all I'm trying to do, guys. I'm just trying to highlight the kids and reward them for the stuff that they're doing on the field. And so that's what this is all about, and that's what's important to Jet and his family, and that's what's important to Mr. Randy Hudson over at Hudson Financial Group, who's a presenting sponsor, and that's what's important to Aldre Rincones and Robinson Chirinos over at 7AR Baseball Academy. Thank you guys. Good luck the rest of the way. The playoffs, congratulations to those teams that have clinched playoff spots. Congratulations to all of you guys, and good luck. We'll see you certainly over the next 2 weeks. Good luck to Jet. Jet is off today. He plays tomorrow. Had a big home run last week, and we certainly I follow the games and watch the games as often as I can on the app. Sporting my Travis Matthew New York Mets shirt and my Heath hat Hawks my Heath Hawks hat in honor of Mr. Jet Williams. So. Thank you guys again. We'll see you soon, and have a good evening, and good luck in game day. And hey, we got a busy week. Just for we'll be at golf this week. Regionals. We'll be at regionals for track, and squeezing in baseball. I think Thursday I'll be track, and then I got to rush back for baseball that night. So lots going on. Very, very busy. We will see you on game day. Chris Pena, Rockwall County.